Harris, thank you so much. It's now my pleasure to introduce you to Michelle Koppelo, who will be speaking on behalf of the Koppelo Building. We wouldn't be here without that investment that you and Aline and your family had made, and we're grateful for it, and we look forward to hearing your remarks. Thank you.
Well, he's thanking me. I had absolutely nothing to do with it. Back when this building came to pass, really it was my father and his brothers who were honoring their parents, i.e. Rabbi Nathan's comments about generations, honoring their parents. Back historically, in 1905, my grandfather was a prosperous farmer in a little shtetl outside Minsk, whereupon he did not believe, this is like a Fiddler on the Roof story, he did not believe that the pogroms would happen. And lo and behold, they came in, burned his farm, killed all his animals, burned his house. And he took his then wife and only 3 of his children, of which there were 6, ultimately, packed them up and moved them. First to Berlin. They had to make their way with nothing to Berlin, and then they were sponsored by his wife's parents, who lived in New York at the time, to come to New York. He came, my grandfather, and sold apples on the street and decided he really didn't like that. And ultimately, having been a prosperous farmer, I don't think the sale of apples was really his thing. So ultimately, they left there because they had a cousin who lived here in St. Louis. And they came here in 1908. And so the legacy started here in St. Louis. He had 3 more children. 6 in total, managed through the grocery business and through real estate, which he ultimately lost in the Depression, but through real estate, educated and prospered both himself and for his children, who ultimately were educated and prospered. My grandparents died in the late 30s. So I never knew them, my mom never knew them, but what they taught and what they believed in was strongly felt by their children. And at the time, the Federation was located not out west, which is where the population was moving. And so the boys, the 4 boys, wanted to do something in their honor for all they had gotten from their parents and for all that the Jewish community had done, both religiously and culturally, for them when they came to St. Louis. So they were going to make this contribution, and originally the boys, the brothers, did not want to have their name on the building. But at the time they thought, they just wanted to honor their parents, and they thought, wait a minute. By putting the name on the building, it would be impetus to other people in our community to give back and hopefully to give gifts with namings, because that's, it was not really done at the time. It's like Millstone and Koppelo and, But they were hopeful that the community would band together and get behind contributing to its community, which is why they ended up naming the building Koppelo Building in honor of Louis and Rose, their parents. And so this is a very important tradition to our family and very meaningful to our family. And it's wonderful that your gifts will only enhance the gift that we started. And so it's with great pride and honor that our name continues to be associated with the building, and that you're encouraging and increasing the level of the building and the whole Jewish community out here. So thank you.